What's going on, everybody? Brett here, my YouTube channel Good Talk Gaming, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. So I've had this game for a long time. It's Surviving Mars, and I did a playthrough once. I didn't record it. It was back in the day, before I had my YouTube channel. But now they've come out with a new DLC. It's called Green Planet, and it's going to allow us to terraform Mars. You can kind of see in the background. Check this out. As the planet of Mars turns, it kind of becomes more and more green. Very cool. I've always been personally a little bit obsessed with the idea of going to Mars and terraforming it into a similar planet to Earth. I always thought that was such a cool concept. To get a few things out of the way though, this is a game made by Paradox. We have the DLC. In all honesty and transparency, I think it's too expensive. I think $20 for this DLC is a bit much, and I like to call out what I believe to be kind of minorly poor business practices when I see it. And their DLC often for this game is pretty junk. It's like this Project Leica. It's like cosmetics that they charge $6 for. And there are games on Steam that you can get for less than $6 that are like fully fledged games, much less just like a weird cosmetic in the game. If you have disposable income and you want to throw it at Paradox, give them money to make, kind of weird DLCs, that is all you. This one is 20 bucks. May or may not be worth it, but at least it adds something new to the game, a new way to play, and that's what I'm most excited about. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the new game. We'll skip the tutorials. Hopefully I don't suck. It says tutorials save lives. Yeah. Okay, skip the tutorials. It's been a little while since I played, so bear with me if I have to remember some of the hotkeys and things like that. But we're going to get right into it. So you'll see here, it gives us our difficulty challenge based on all of the different modifiers that we select. So mission sponsor, I went ahead and looked, and there's a new one. It's called the Terraforming Initiative. And we're not going to go over all of them. This is your first time seeing this game. I'll do my best to explain what's happening, of course. But if I stop to read every single, mission sponsor, it would take forever. Normally I like to go with either USA or the Blue Sun Corporation. They're pretty easy. You get a lot of funding, you get a lot of like research points and applicants, people that want to come, and they have really strong kind of like almost like racial traits, racial passives, right? They get a large rocket payload and periodic additional funding, but we're going to go with the new Terraforming Initiative. So difficulty is normal. They start off with $8 billion. 100 applicants, research per soul, which is like per year, I guess, or is it year or day? I think it's per day. It's 100 research points. Rare metal prices are pretty important. So this is where we get into the new stuff. All terraforming techs are 50% cheaper for research. Okay. Forestation plants do not require power. I don't know what any of that is yet. Can import RC dozers from the start. Okay, that's got to be a new new vehicle. Bonus tech, Martian vegetation unlocks forestation plant, and another bonus tech, interplanetary projects, unlocks terraforming special projects. I don't know what any of that is, but I'm excited to get into it. And you'll see here our logo has changed to these three trees with these 3 stars. Pretty cool. We can also come into here and change our commander profile. Rocket scientist is strong because you get an extra rocket. And you get early shuttle hubs, which are nice for collecting materials. But geoengineer, seed import costs reduced by 50%. You get bonus prefabs, 2 GHG factories. I think those are greenhouse gas factories. And 2 forestation plants. Interesting. Obviously that has a lot to do with us trying and attempting to terraform. And then we also get designed forestation. Newly grown forests have a chance to spawn vistas and research sites. Interesting. Mysteries, we're going to leave as random. I like being surprised by the ones that can happen. But just to give you an idea of some of the stuff that can happen. Wildfire here. The worst pandemic in modern history was the Spanish flu of 1918, which killed tens of millions of people. Today, with how interconnected the world is, it would spread faster. Ugh. Yeah, so just some of these are disasters, some of these are really cool, just like kind of sci-fi events, and I always look forward to see which one I get. Game rules, we can make it easier or harder. No terraforming, we could make it so that we weren't able to do that. Whenever I'm just trying to chill and have fun, in the past I would do something like increased production. It doubles the base resources produced. It's a little cheaty, of course, because you have more resources, but there are long stretches in the game where you're just kind of sitting there waiting to produce things, and that's not fun. So I like to continue building and exploring and expanding, and just having to fast forward for 5 minutes while stuff is getting produced is super unfun. So, but we'll leave it blank for now. And yeah, let's go ahead and get in there next. Today's episode is going to be just a bit of an introduction and me getting my legs back under me. And I think we'll keep these at about a half hour a piece. I normally do hour-long videos, but I think for the sake of this playthrough, and just to make sure that it runs smoothly, I'm going to keep it at about a half hour. Some bite-sized videos for everyone. So we start with an RC dozer. Works on landscaping projects significantly faster than drones. Can transport waste rock that is used for landscaping tasks. I don't know how necessary this is early on. And it's very expensive. So basically what we're doing right now is choosing what we want to take with us in our rocket. Prefab buildings, we have 5 of these. That's part of our unique start. It's crazy that I don't know why we would take a dozer over something like the commander or the transport. Transport is amazing at gathering minerals. And the RC Commander is a remote controlled vehicle that transport commands and repairs drones. Super important to have one of those. I mean, it's important to have a transport, an explorer, and a commander. I don't know how important this dozer is, though. Could probably get away with maybe less of those. Does that add room? It doesn't add room for these. Dang. Well, let's bring them back. Or maybe go 1 less. Get some more polymers, perhaps. That's one of those resources that you always end up running out of. We don't need as many orbital probes as they were giving us. And now I'm asking myself, do I want a transporter or do I want a commander? Well, we'll see. Wish me luck, guys. Now we gotta pick a colony site. So, is there a way to rotate this? Yes. Okay, here we go. So they have some predetermined ones, relatively flat. The resources here are okay. They have severe cold waves. Since I haven't played this game in a while, I'm probably going to go with an easier start. The resources are very high here. Good chance of meteors, though. Cold waves, dust devils, and dust storms are pretty uncommon. Topography is rough. I'm looking up here to see if we just want to have an easy time building. What is this one? Relatively flat. Lots of dust devils. Low on metals. Well, you know what? I'm just going to go with the boring start. Maybe if I keep playing, I'll get better at the game. The topography is considered rough, though, but it has really high resources. This is important. We should definitely take a second to choose, because it's going to really affect the rest of our playthrough. I mean, this has a lot of materials, obviously, but the fact that it has weird terrain is interesting. Steep is how they describe it. And it's named Elysium, which is kind of like heaven. The Elysium fields in the Greek mythology. It's going to be either one of these two. I like the idea of this being flat, but I've been screwed over by low water starts before. No, let's do this one. We can work with rough topography. Let's start. It'll just make the colony look cooler when we finally make it. And even though there are low chances of bad things happening to us as far as sandstorms and meteors, it'll still happen. So we need to be on guard against that. And look how cool this looks. Welcome to Mars, Commander. Mission Control Log 1. Welcome to Mars. Everyone at Mission Control is impatient to see the rocket touching down and unloading its precious cargo. Our remotely controlled eyes and hands on the red planet, the drones and rovers. Our goal is to secure a foothold for humanity by building the first Martian dome. This daunting endeavor will allow the brave pioneers, the founders, to settle on Mars and prove that the colony is sustainable. But until then, we have to make sure the colony has enough construction resources, water, oxygen, and power. Mission sponsor, the Terraforming Initiative, Commander Profile, Geo-Engineer. Close. Okay. Let's designate a landing site for the rocket. A promising area has already been scanned for resources. Select the rocket from the highlighted icon at the bottom of your screen. So I guess we're supposed to land here. But if I remember right, wow, there are a lot of things to read. New features. Sector scanned. We should have the ability to scan something. There's a radio, which we may tweak in a little bit. Resupply, research, command center, milestones, mission profile, planetary view. So our orbital probe, we may want to use here. Probes will instantly scan a sector of the map, revealing resource deposits and anomalies in the area.
Anomaly found.
That's what we needed. We needed to make sure we found water. That was the most important thing. And I think we're just going to go ahead and use all 4 of them here to discover as much as we can. And now we can touch down our rocket close to water, close to concrete. No active research. Well, let's change that. So before we even land, we'll get into this. Research will unlock various benefits for the colony. Researching any technology will make a new technology in its field available for research. Changing your active research will preserve the progress of the previously researched technology. We've already got this unlocked. Martian vegetation. That's cool, and we also already have this breakthrough unlocked. And if you go down to terraforming, we have interplanetary projects unlocked as well. There are a lot of researches in this game, which is super cool, because most of the time that translates into lots of new buildings, lots of new things to mess with. Let us start with, if this is already going. It's already almost complete. Let's just get that and then let that finish and then get into the transport optimization, because we do have a transport, and making it so that it can harvest resources faster and has bigger storage, I think, is the most important. And let's close that. Found water on Mars. That gave us a bit of research. Milestone achieved. Cool. So we're not even in the game yet, guys. Just trying to make sure we have all of this good to go. Terraforming Introduction. This is pretty important. To terraform Mars and create Earth-like environment for colonists, you have to gradually increase the 4 global terraforming parameters, which looks like they're these here: atmosphere, temperature, water, and vegetation. Terraforming is a long process. Once complete, humans can start breathing outside domes. Start by researching a terraforming technology when ready. Further terraforming info is available in the encyclopedia. Good to know. Take hints. Okay. Well, let's go back. We don't need hints. Let's close. Man, we'll get into this at some point, but that's going to be a good bit of reading. Surviving Mars has been updated. New features. Surviving Mars has been recently updated. Okay. This may be a lot of things. A new resource. Okay. Anyway, let's get into it. And now we're going to select where we want our rocket to touch down. And this is important because it's going to give us an area of control around a lot of different resources. And I hate that they put this big thing right in front of what I'm trying to do. Yeah, we want flat land where we can get things like concrete and water inside of our zone of control. I think this is going to be fine. Right in the middle. Check it out, we can watch our rocket zoom in. We can rotate a little bit. And our rocket is green, that's pretty cool. Just gotta get used to using this again. Permanent buildings are constructed by drones. Yeah, we need to generate electrical power. Use our RC to start getting metal for us. And we can queue different tasks by using shift. So what are the first things we need to build? We start with 2 drone hubs that we can make. Interesting. We need to definitely start making some solar. Oh, we also have Stirling Generators. These are awesome. They're basically like infinite power. I don't know if we need to start by building those. Just trying to get my feet back under me. Remember all the buildings, because order of operations here is pretty important. We need depots for sure. Domes, all of this stuff isn't applicable yet, but we will get there. And I see some terraforming. So first things first will probably be to get power online. And we can make our power somewhat out of the way. Whoa, Martian vegetation researched. So congratulations, you have successfully made the first step towards turning Mars into a lush green heaven. You have unlocked the seeds resource that can be imported from Earth. Seeds are stored into specialized storages and used by forestation plants and open farms for planting vegetation outside the domes. Most plants require some terraforming progress to be made. Check out the atmosphere, temperature, surface water, and the vegetation coverage in the planetary view. Improving these terraforming parameters will improve the productivity of some buildings, decrease the severity of disasters, and ultimately may render Mars lush, breathable, and covered with liquid water. Very cool. Alright, kind of interrupted the heck out of me, but that's okay. Start here. I think there's a way we can just like shift click. Yes, we can rotate. Because I feel like we're going to want a few of these. Now everything in this game requires maintenance. Just about everything. And we have to be very aware of that. It will take a lot of our resources to maintain. We have metal. This is, I think, concrete. The big things here are going to be polymers, machine parts, electronics, and fuel. So right now you can see our little drones. Let's check them out. They're pretty cute. They've got these little like bug eyes. And they are going to come and start building stuff. But right now we need materials in order to start building. And we also need to make sure that we build. Let's get out of that. Game speed is fine. I don't mind having it going right now. What we need to do is build. Where are those? We need to build some depots. So I think we should start with some universal depots, which we can place. We want to keep them out of the way for now. We can build one here, and perhaps another here. Because we're going to start getting concrete, we're going to start getting water, we're going to connect the power lines. But at the moment we just don't have enough resources to build quite anything yet. But let's go ahead and start making what we need to get concrete. So a concrete extractor. Very good. And it definitely needs access to We need a concrete depot. But it's going to need access to power. So let's go ahead and get ourselves some power lines running from here. Ooh, we can't go any further than that. That's okay. The game makes some pretty good bendy cables. Dang it. How do we delete stuff? Yeah, we'll just destroy it. I don't even... Does it really take a thing to demolish that? No, okay. I was about to say, it shouldn't take a drone to demolish that. That would be a little weird. But there we go. So that building will have power once they finish making the power lines. And we can speed this up a little bit. And you'll see here our little transport is currently just gathering all of the surface metal for us, and he's stacking it behind himself. Yeah, our drones have heavy loads right now. We need to drop... We have some prefab buildings. So we can drop the drone hub, which gives us a nice area of control. But we don't want them really to be overlapping. Well, you want a tiny bit of overlap, just so that your drones can go from one hub to another. But we want to get that built. So let's go ahead and drop this one here, perhaps. And then we can connect them with cables. And to make these cables, you essentially just need metal. Opening the build menu, okay. I keep forgetting that we can use right click. So that was actually pretty helpful. And let's try and go for... I want to make sure that our stuff looks pretty neat. I don't know why it wants to bend that way. It's kind of weird. You can do something like this. That's fine. Because eventually we're going to have to come over here and get this water as well. We can't scan anything, I don't think. We can start the process of checking stuff out. We can queue it up. And we did find an anomaly, but we have no way of checking it out because we don't have an explorer. A lot of tasks that need to get done right now. I think we need to prioritize our drone hub. Yeah, only having 2 drones is rough. Yeah, drone heavy load. We need to get them to make these drone hubs. That way we can have more drones doing more tasks.
You're listening to the Red Frontier with me, Kim Tae Anderson.
We can watch them do this for a minute, but then we're going to have to probably... Yeah, so there's power running to this now.
Wants to share his thoughts about why he came here.
Solar panels are not quite done yet.
Music and your encouraging words. I've really thought about why I decided to come all the way to Mars.
What are you doing? Are you still working or are you full?
I had all the necessary training, was in between
Building's not working. Yeah, it needs power, but it's going to get it very soon.
This is quite an adventure.
And we will gather the resources here. So some of our polymers and stuff are being offloaded, but the problem is
what comes next?
we just don't have enough drones. We really need this to get power.
Take care.
So we can fast forward here.
Well, Isaac, it's hard to answer your question. I guess that we all
This power is going to be running to a water extractor. So we can go ahead and set that up now, but it'll be a pretty low priority.
My advice is to socialize with as many people as possible. Learn things from them and
I actually don't know if that's something that we want to get into quite yet, because it does have maintenance costs. We can also make a battery. I think we should probably make a few.
Let's listen to the next track together.
I think 3 batteries is fine. And we can alternate with what we want for our power sources. A sensor tower. Sensor towers significantly boost your scanning speed for nearby sectors. They also give advanced warning of disasters.
Resources are low.
Yeah, resources are low, I'm sure. Now they're unloading. We have drones here who have no power. Is this not connected? Eureka! Our scientific analysis servers just crashed. We tried turning them off and on again, but the problem persisted after reboot. While looking for the glitch, your data technicians discovered the possibility to boost the performance of the program by running secondary analytical trials just this once. A random tech will be researched. Huh. Let's just get a random free tech. That seems pretty cool. And what did we get? Something far down the line, I guess. Farm automation. Decreases the number of workers that we need for farms. We're not even close to that yet. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong with this. So, we'll get there. But what we need to do... Oh man, we needed to do this a minute ago. Let's place our Stirling Generators. These guys are basically infinite power. And at this point in the game, we need it. We barely have enough power to do anything. Now these drones are working. We're going to be in much better shape once they get their stuff together. And everything is going to get built. So these are super cool. Infinite power with no maintenance cost. But if you open them up, which we can do here, and check them out, now all of a sudden they cost maintenance. So they'll take, I believe that's polymers, but they greatly increase the amount of power we have. But we don't need to do that. Basically, by opening them up, we allow them to get dirty, which is kind of the general idea. And we'll make them unload. Eventually, I'll get better at microing this dude, because there's a lot of things you can do to be really efficient with them. Oh no. There's a meteor shower in our area. But we should be great on power now that these 2 Stirlings are built. And we also have 4 of these large solar panels, which always try and face the sun, which I've always thought was pretty cool. Let's start gathering these resources, these surface deposits here. And we also need to start getting water, and that's going to come into us having to also build
Research complete.
Plumbing lines. And I like to put my pipes directly on top of my power lines. So let's get ourselves a water extractor. Build some power lines to here. Can we build it to here? Nope. That's alright. We'll build it to here. Make some funny little shapes. And then we'll get the pipes going to... We need water to make different things. So we need it to make... We can store water here, but we're definitely going to need it for the humans that come, of course. But you also use water to make fuel. I'm trying to remember where that bit of tech is. Probably just in here. Is it not? Is it just the Moxie? Is that what makes fuel? No, that makes the oxygen.
Sector scanned.
What makes the fuel for us? Ah, the fuel refinery. Okay. That makes sense. We'll place this here, next to the power line. We'll also make sure that we're placing a water tower nearby, leaving a little space for future fuel refineries. And this was a prefab for us. Are you full already? Jesus. Yeah, go dump off, buddy. Waste rock. Yeah, we're gonna need to make more depots for sure. let's go ahead and give ourselves... I like just making the universal depots in the beginning. And then later we'll make more specialized ones. So near like the concrete, for instance, we should definitely be making... No. We should be making these special concrete ones. Let's make 2 of those. Alright, we're doing okay, Power is a bit low. Let's boost the importance of the water extractor. And we should definitely get pipes running.
Resources are low.
Where are you going, dude? Come over here and start dumping. You should be able to offload. What does he have in his back? I actually can't tell what that is. Is that waste? So you know what? I think we also have to build dumping sites for our concrete. Let's place those over here. Yeah, he's just carrying metal. I'm not sure why he wasn't unloading for us. That's pretty odd. But now that we're extracting water, we can take a look at this. And we're storing it in the water tower. And in order for us to relaunch our rocket back into space and to bring back more resources and people, we need to get fuel made for it. So what we're going to do here is let's go ahead and get some fuel depots set up outside of... Yeah, let's set them up right outside of our fuel refinery. And as they produce fuel with the water, they'll also load the fuel back into the rocket. We don't need oxygen quite yet because we don't have any humans. I mean, there's no need. As long as we keep our electricity up, we are fine. We have several prefabs that we also haven't dropped yet, but it's mostly because they have maintenance costs that I don't want to incur yet. Make sure you're getting more metals. And there's a way to just... We can create a transport route. Have them load these resources, all. And then unload resources like here in this kind of area where we stuck a lot of universal depots. And a lot of this stuff can be moved later if we want to make room. My idea was just to keep a big open area for future domes and buildings. But everything's just kind of rolling along now. What else can we do? All of these little symbols here, if you're curious what they are, they're anomalies. And they lead to us having like breakthroughs in research. But without an explorer, we can't make any use of that at all, sadly. And I don't want to build this yet because it does have a maintenance upkeep cost, and we have no way of building and making machine parts and things quite yet. What we really need is to produce as much fuel as possible. And I don't know if we have the option to build another one of those, if we even can.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
Yeah, we can't. We certainly can't make another one. So we're just going to have to speed up the game and keep it sped up, hoping to get more fuel. So if we go into our rocket, we see that they currently have 15 of 50 fuels. So currently refueling. And they really have nothing to export. So we don't have any of the rare metals that you can bring back. But it's going to be pretty crucial to our survival what we bring back with us on our next rocket. What else can we do to kind of speed things along? We can make more power I like the solar panels because all they require is metal to maintain, whereas the wind turbines require machine parts, which we cannot produce yet. So we need to be careful how we use some of our rarer resources. But I think this is a pretty fair little start here. We also have these batteries, which do require polymers for maintenance. We're only going to build 3 of them, but they are completely full right now on power. So if for any reason we ran out of power or we started sinking below this 2 mark into the negative territory, the batteries would kick in. And it's pretty useful to have batteries if you're going to use solar panels, because obviously at night they're not working, and that's why our power is dipping so low. And then during nighttime, whenever we go negative, the batteries will kick in and start to help us out. But they're also draining our polymers pretty heavily. How's our water tank doing? Our water tank is full as well. What is a water tank? It takes metal, so we can make another one. Another water tower, that is. We'll sit that right there. What are you doing, buddy? Did you collect all the things? You sure did. Are these materials that you can pick up? I guess they're not. They look like just regular rocks to me. So let's just make sure we're using him, because he is very good at collecting metals for us in the early stages of the game. And there may even be polymers and stuff laying around that we can grab. I'm not seeing any. Let's just grab these metals. Yeah, this is all just metal. Are there any polymers? It's the planetary view. Oh Lord, we haven't done this yet. Ooh, we're not ready for this. What I'm looking for is the... How's our research going, by the way? Okay. It's working. Can't resupply. Map overview. So we are scanning. Let's go ahead and get this area and this one. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Guys, this is an unpolished look at the game. I'm not a pro at this by any means. I'm just trying to figure it out. Oh my god, there's meteors striking. And we can see where the impact is. How are we doing on fuel? 31 out of 50. And this is what I was talking about with the points in the game where we can't really expand further because we just don't have the means. So now we're just relying on getting our rocket back up into space and coming back with probably a drone commander, probably a explorer, so we can start taking advantage of these anomalies. And yeah, just a lot of extra resources. But for right now, we're really just waiting on refueling. And it's scary because I don't want to build too much more because I don't want to incur the maintenance costs. Our stockpile on metal is pretty solid, thanks to our transport. We've also got a good supply of concrete. Yeah, the waste here needs to go here. And for whatever reason, they're putting the waste rock over in a very poor spot. Eventually, you can turn waste into additional concrete. Alright, and he's going to pick it up for us and put it where it goes. And we can always just make another one. Another large dumping site. And attach it.
Sector scanned.
Sector scan. There's a lot of concrete and metal over there. I'm hoping to find polymer on the ground to go and pick that up. Check out these like crazy swirl designs here. Maybe we can eventually build some things on plateaus. That would be pretty cool. So we're about to hit 40 on our refueling. I don't think we need more than one water extractor. Is there anything else we could be building right now that would help us set up for later? I mean, we could potentially kind of design some domes. Self-sustaining dome. What's the difference? It's more expensive. Huh. I don't know what the difference is between these two, but it has a higher maintenance cost. Oh, I guess you instantly place it with a... Okay. It comes with the oxygen necessary. 2 moisture vapor... Yeah, okay. It's just like a fast way to build it. Resupply. Mission Control suggests that we order a rocket or supply pod with valuable payload from Earth. We still need all the help we can get to survive the harsh environment of the Red Planet. Back on Earth, a dutiful team is standing by for our call. In mere hours, they can prepare a new rocket or supply pod and fill it with whatever resources we request, within the limits of the funding provided by our sponsor. Don't hesitate to make the call and secure valuable resources which we can't produce ourselves, or we are deprived of on the surface of the Red Planet. Hint, you can open the resupply screen from the HUD button and order a new rocket or supply pod with resources, buildings, and vehicles from Earth. Okay, well, let's go to resupply and call down a cargo rocket. Could I have done this earlier? I guess I could have. I didn't realize. We need a explorer and a commander. I would also like to get more polymers, machine parts, and electronics. And what kind of prefab buildings can we get? Another fuel refinery. I like grabbing as many Stirling Generators as I can, but we should probably get a machine parts factory, a polymer factory, and an electronics factory if we can afford them. Yeah, these two are the most important. And when we start building domes, we'll be able to just drop these down instantly, the machine parts factory. And from water and fuel, we can make polymer. This is the most important thing. And let's launch it. I like this a lot. This is good. So it has a arrival time. And once this is loaded, 4 more fuels, we will be good to go. And send this rocket back into space. And I think that'll be the end of today's episode. Sorry, I guess I was a little late on the resupply. I think you can only have a certain number of rockets. Yeah, we only have 2 rockets. We have the one on our planet and the one we just sent to us. We can call in a supply pod, which is interesting. This is a new thing. I don't think you were able to do this before. But what should we send? I kind of like just sending more polymers, machine parts, and electronics.
My name is Kim, and you are listening to the Red Frontier, your heavy-hitting musical station for the whole...
And 4 more drones? Launch it. So it gives us a little progress counter here, 17%, 18%. Because we are in fast forward, it's happening quickly. And 1 more fuel. And I think we've got it on this drone here. And you'll see, look at our little drone. He needs to come in here and recharge. And that's it. So let's go ahead and send this back into space. How do we do that? Return to Earth. We have no export, so we're not going to make any money. Let's go ahead and, yeah, launch a rocket from Mars. 250 research. And there it goes. Very cool. You see the shadow on the ground. We can make launch pads. So the game is pretty dynamic in the way that it makes it so that if you launch a rocket, obviously, you get dirt on everything. And when you get dirt on everything, things start to work worse. You need, you see here we got all this dirt on all of this stuff. You have to clean it. And the drones do that. Oh man, please start dumping this in the appropriate places. Too far from working drone. Yeah, we're gonna have to make this one soon. Oh lord. Okay. Well, let's do this first before we sign out for today. This is why we need the RC drone commander when they show up in the next rocket. There's like a mobile drone hub, and they're going to allow us to come over here and build things outside of our current range of control. And it honestly won't be that long before that happens. What are you doing? Let's see. Can we get him to load waste rock and unload it here? Hopefully he'll get all these little stones out of here and put them where they go. Perfect. Alright guys, well I think that was a decent look at today's new game, Surviving Mars with the Green Planet DLC. I'll get better. I'll get better and smoother as I play a little bit off camera maybe, and as we play together, because yeah, I understand I'm not the best at the game yet. I hope you still enjoyed watching me play and kind of figure it out as we go along. Luckily, I know enough of the game from playing it, you know, a year or so ago that I don't think I'm gonna fail. But yeah, it's gonna be cool. We're gonna make domes. We're gonna bring in people. The game stops looking so much like you're just staring at red Earth the whole time and starts looking beautiful very quickly. And we're gonna do more zoom ins and check out all the different stuff. As I get a little bit better with the camera controls, because right now it's feeling a little wonky for me. Yeah. But anyway, very cool. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, my name is Brett. My channel is Good Talk Gaming. And guys, as always, I will see you in the next one. Take care.